So Hunter x Hunter is back on hiatus at the moment. After the release of chapter 410, it went back on hiatus. We all kind of expected that it is the trend of Hunter x Hunter of releasing 10 chapters, then going on hiatus. The previous hiatus, like it stayed for about 2 years, but we all also know at the moment that this hiatus might be a little bit different because of how active Togashi is at the moment. So with that being said, I have compiled this video for you to, catch you up on what happened in the previous 10 chapters. So enjoy what happened in the last 10 weeks of Hunter x Hunter and expect Hunter x Hunter to be back within a few months. That's my guess. Of course, I want Hunter x Hunter to be back in January, which is like a lot of people are speculating that, but hopefully it will be back before we know it. One final thing I have to say is that I really enjoy making content on this channel, and the week by week review of each new chapter that drops is fun for me to do, but the main content that I want to produce on this channel is regarding the world of Hunter x Hunter and more in depth of the story of Hunter x Hunter. So yes, reviewing each chapter as it drops is fun, but most of the fun for me is by reviewing the whole story and taking our time with each story beat. With that being said, stay tuned for more content to drop here and enjoy the recap. In just the span of 6 chapters, the story of Hunter x Hunter has accelerated, and it doesn't feel that way just because we were on a long hiatus before the release of 401. No, the acceleration is real, and a lot of new information and storylines have come out, and that's what we are here to discuss. This is a recap of 401 till 406. We start off 401 with this beautiful drawing of Morena. Now, Morena, to be honest, is getting a lot of love. But if you think about it, in the story so far, she didn't appear so much. I mean, if you compare to other new characters that appear a lot, she's not there often. But her impact is felt. She also got the cover page of volume 37, and now she gets this amazing colored drawing. The illegitimate child of King Nasubi and one of the leaders of the mafia. The illegitimate child thing is very important in this chapter in particular. So Kurapika is continuing with his Nen master class to the bodyguard, and now it is the turn of the personal guard of 5th Prince Tepepe. Prince Tepepe, the lady that loves science. And the bodyguard's name is Longe. She declares straight away that, okay guys, from the start, I know how to use Nen. So drop the act, Bill, chill, okay? And oh, she's using it straight away. She whips out her Hatsu and she wants to make a contract. That is her power. Now, it is very weird that Kurapika at this moment doesn't act like defensively. I don't know, maybe he wasn't feeling that hostility from her aura, that's why he didn't react. I mean, yes, Kurapika points like a gun towards her, but we all know a gun won't do anything for the people that use Nen. Does make him look pretty awesome, to be honest. So Longe wants to make a contract with Kurapika to ally with 5th Prince Tepepe, and the conditions are that Longe reveals everything to Kurapika, then Kurapika agrees to ally with 5th Prince Tepepe, and in return, Kurapika will gain a Nen buff. That would like help sell the goal of Longe for Kurapika to sign the contract to ally, and hey, you'll get a power-up in return. Seriously, what is up with that lady? And what is she hiding? And why does she want Kurapika to be stronger? Here, we get a huge reveal that Longe is beyond Netero's daughter. Netero's granddaughter. Isaac Netero's granddaughter. Oh, is getting interesting, my man. You see, beyond Netero, over the past 30 years, would go and get it on with young, high-ranking Kakin soldiers in order to have children that would one day become the guards of the princess and, surround the throne with his seed. Ew. Keep in mind that Longe did not know all of this before the start of the Succession War. I mean, she thought she was like the only one. Maybe there's a couple here and there, but she thought she was a special case. And, special she is. Because unlike almost all of the characters in Hunter x Hunter that we know so far, Longe was able to use Nen from birth. Because her father, Beyond, placed a Nen curse in her and her other siblings. That is just sick. But wait, that is not all of it. It's not just a scheme for Beyond to try and get closer to the higher powers of the Kakian Empire. No, 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 no. As we read, we discover that, in fact, one of the princes is Beyond's child. One of the 14 princes is the child of Beyond Netero. My first guess would be fourth prince, right, Nick? But we will go over that in a future video. And just so we're clear, this video right here, right now that you're watching is a recap of the events that happened in the past 6 chapters. Later on, I will upload more in-depth videos about each storyline and each chapter that drops. And now, a brief message to the amazing people that watch this channel. Obviously, you might have noticed that I did not upload recently where I should have been uploading. There is a lot of new exciting stuff coming out, but that's because I moved. Yes, I did not move from like a house to a house, a simple moving. No. I literally moved from a country to another country, and right now I'm working on moving my family to join me here in this new country that I'm starting my life in. It's a big move. That's what I'm trying to say. So I couldn't really do as much work as I would love to do. But hey, I'm done now. I got my new setup. And I want to thank you for sticking around. And I pledge to you that I will get you more exciting Hunter x Hunter content to enjoy while the next chapter drops. All I need from you to do is sign this contract right here. Once you sign by subscribing to the channel and leaving a comment, that will give me a Nen buff, which is what I need right now to keep uploading, and thank you. And with that, the 10th day on the Black Whale comes to an end. At least that's what we know, because the next chapter we might flash back and the timelines are all messed up and it's really difficult. So anyway, starting chapter 402, one of the longest chapters in Hunter x Hunter history. We catch up with third prince Zhang Lei, thinking over the scenarios of the outcome of that war. Then we go to this guy, Balsamico Might. This guy is the captain of the guards of King Benjamin. Basically, he's Benjamin's right-hand man. He's a really important guy, holding an important position close to one of the most important figures in the whole arc. And he is on a quest right now to assassinate one of the princes. You see, before in one of the chapters, while Might and Benjamin were listening to the radio, they heard one of their guards screaming for help. So now they know that Hulkenburg is a lot of trouble and he must be taken out. One thing you noticed with this chapter is that we keep on jumping from a thread to another thread, almost trying to get the story going from all angles in preparation to a clash that will bring everything together at some point. We catch up with Mr. Evil himself right here, progressing in the arts of Nen in a terrifying way. And yeah, this guy, Chekhov, casually drops the fact that he was able to use Zets from birth, confirming that he is also one of Beyond's children. Dude, what is going on? I'm very upset that a lot of people that read this part, did not look twice and they missed this small line. Then we go to Melody and Kachu, the spirit beasts. Kachu, not real Kachu, because real Kachu is dead, and this spirit beast Kachu is the one protecting Fugetsu. Are you confused yet, my man? And we have Kaiser. He's a member of the Justice Bureau, but at the moment he serves as a Melody simp, actually. Yeah, he simps so hard for melody. It's actually quite cute. God bless, man. No hate, no hate. So they have come up with a plan. The plan is to take Prince Losers out because they suspect that he was behind a bunch of bad things that are happening to Fugetsu, and they also want to use this plan in order to infiltrate all the other princes' rooms. So their plan is to write a letter exposing some great conspiracy. Conspiracy is that Hulkenburg's mother is the same mother as first Prince Benjamin and fourth Prince Radnik. It's very obvious. It's very obvious. They look the same. Come on. And yeah, this chapter is very, very confusing. You can only start to really understand what is going on once you move to the next chapter and you see the official showdown between Hulkenburg and Might. Now we're going to fuse both chapter 403 and 404. You know, the Hulkenburg stuff. Hulkenburg decides to make the move to win the war, and at the same time, Might is trying to assassinate him. That's when Hulkenburg fires an arrow. You know, like Hulkenburg, I also practiced archery. Right before Hulkenburg fires that arrow, Might sees that fallen soldier that I just told you about, talking to him in military sign language. Before we know it, we get a cliffhanger of Hulkenburg firing the possession arrow, and we do not know what happened. Basically, what happened, Hulkenburg took over Might's body. Hulkenburg transferred his soul into Might's body, and now, where did Might's soul go? If we can deduct that it went into Hulkenburg's body, well, no, that cannot be because Hulkenburg's body is about to die. So Prince Benjamin would know immediately because he will inherit the powers of Might. That's his Hatsu, Benjamin's baton. We end the whole shebang with Hulkenburg saying that he has 10 hours to win the succession war. Maybe after he is done with Might's body, he can like fire another possession arrow through Might and go to another body. We still don't know what will happen. All that we know is, yes, more of that, please, sir. Who knows? Maybe his body, well, it's dead and they do the funeral and everyone sees that he's dead. Maybe Hulkenburg will come back to his body somehow and rise again. Maybe that was what's going on with the Jesus imagery that is related to Hulkenburg. Fires an arrow with 12 people around him. Now also what is going on is that now we understand somewhat the powers of third prince Zhang Lei, as he invites Kurapika to his room and asks him to assist, you know, to like guess, to suggest what is the exact powers of his Nen beast. The Nen beast spits out a coin that has a value. The value increases the more you hold on to that coin. However, if the coin is transferred or handed down, its value reverses to 1. And every 10 days, it goes up to 10. So it's an accumulation type conjuring ability. Now, what is the actual value of these coins? We do not know. Maybe it will result in a Nen ability. Maybe the owner of it can exchange it for a Nen buff. Or maybe it's an actual currency. We do not know for sure because the effects would take place after Zhang Lei's win. At least that's what he assumes. After he takes the throne, then the actual effects of that coin will take place. And you know what? I believe that Zhang Lei is like the best candidate to be the king. Like all the sane people in that war that like they want to end the war peacefully and not to get everyone killed, they agree that, you know, like let's get to somewhat of a stalemate and by the end Zhang Lei should lead. He's like the best candidate. That's my opinion also. I mean, yes, I do not want Prince Wobble to die, but if Prince Wobble wins and everyone else has died, he's still a kid. How would he be king, you know? But when you put it in that sense, if they can reach that point where like the bad ones die in the succession war and they can reach that alliance between Fifth Prince Tepepe and the agreed upon protection of the 14 prince and the other children do not die as well, I'm guessing no one would have a problem with Zhang Lei's being the official new king of the Kakin Empire. The third prince has a lot of ambition and he is so far-sighted. He only looks and thinks about what will happen after the war ends and after he becomes the king. He does not occupy his mind with what is happening in the war and how to win. No, he like assumes that he won and right now what am I going to do for the empire? And that is why it is believed that his Nen beast and the power of the Nen beast reflects his thinking of the future. And to be honest, that is like why he is the best candidate. And now with like Hulkenburg out of the picture, yeah, we can all agree on that. Hold on a second. What is that I'm getting? Oh, it's a Cyridnik update. Yep, he is. He's crazy. Actually, how about you give me an update for all the princes? And with that, we conclude chapter 404 and we move on to another part of the ship to catch up with what is going on with the Phantom Troupe. And yes, Hisoka is back. Real Hisoka, making it the official first time we see him after chapter 357. And yes, all of us conspiracy theories catch a break, finally. And our theory is correct. In fact, that was a fake Hisoka. Oh, I am just waiting for the day that I will be proven right that Sheila is in fact Pariston. It's gonna come one day. One day. So, who was the fake Hisoka? The one that we saw in earlier chapters, the one that talked with Henry. It was Balononov. Using his powers, he was able to transform into Hisoka. And when Zakuro and Lynch encountered him, Lynch actually found out that he was a fake. He knocked them both out and took out Lynch, disguised himself as her, and then lied to Zakuro to keep this whole lie going. So, yeah, that is a fake Hisoka. But why all of that? Well, because if the Mafia believed that they have isolated Hisoka and kept him far from the Troupe, then they would let the Phantom Troupe go around doing whatever they want and also helping them doing bad stuff to other families of the Mafia, you know? And actually, that's what Kurolo wanted. He wanted to look for the real Hisoka. That's why he made Balonolov pose as a fake Hisoka to let the Mafia think that they have found him and isolated him, while the real Hisoka is still roaming around and Kurolo is actually looking for him for everything to go down. You just gotta love it when Balonolov is explaining like his metamorphosis ability and out of nowhere transforms into the owl, you know, one of the shadow beasts that appeared way back in the York New Arc. So good. So good. You didn't have to do like a callback character, but you did, and thank you for that. We got Finks, Phaeton, and Nobunaga still doing work, and they go to infiltrate the strange tunnel that connects the building of the ship. That's where we get some societal commentary from Togashi. Very good. And then we transition to chapter 406, which is a chapter fully devoted to the Phantom Troupe. Nobunaga bails on them halfway because he doesn't want to leave his sword and warns them of a threat they might face. As we go back to Henry and Zakuro and they figure out that the Hisoka that they met was a fake. And the rest of this chapter is a long setup for what is Kurolo planning to do. Yes, his main objective is to kill Hisoka once and for all, but also he wishes to steal 3 items, 3 treasures aboard the ship: the seed urn, the shrouds in Buddha, and the blade of divine favor. He faces the truth of the matter, that those objects are not in the lower tiers of the ship, and of course he have to go to the higher tiers in order to find these treasures. And now he's on his way to move on. What will happen, and what if he finds Hisoka before getting those treasures? We discover a new power that he stole, called Love Dial 6700. Basically, this ability conjures a phone. You insert a criteria of your ideal partner and make the call. And in that way, you will be connected to the perfect partner that you are looking for at the moment, the one you need most. Kurolo rings and rings, but no one answers. Kurolo needs to steal these relics that he mentioned, along with partnering up with a mysterious partner in order to finally kill Hisoka once and for all. But he really does not care if Hisoka finds him first, and Hisoka kills him. It doesn't matter. The spider will go on, like he says. That is a badass drawing of Corolo. Oh my god, this is a good story, man. Also, you know, the guy from the Phantom Troop origin story, yeah, we figured out that he was, to the public, like a good charitable guy. He did a lot of good things, but in fact, he was the reason Sarasa died. Man, this story is there's a lot of things going on. And this is the breaking point, my friend. Kurolo is looking to partner up with someone. He also looking to get these treasures. Maybe they will help him somehow. And he's going to move up. What is up? Hisoka is up there. A war is going on up there. And in fact, like the only person that really put Kurolo in his place is also up there. Kurapika. While the Mafia faction is starting a war in the lower tiers and the war is going on in the upper tiers, all that we know for sure is all hell is breaking loose at the moment. And that is where we're at. I am excited to see the next chapter because we're at this point where all the stories are starting to merge with each other and it's going to get really intense. In the next video, I will explain who is the one partner that Kurolo really needs in order to take out Hisoka, along with like stealing all the treasures that he is looking to steal. Oh, Morena, the illegitimate child of King Nasubi, or so we thought. So chapter 407 and 408 is a game of negotiation. It somewhat stopped the flow of the story when we all thought it was about to go down. Last thing we had was Kurolo going to fight Hisoka, and all of a sudden, we are in the Heil-ly hideout with Morena talking to Borksen, a character that appeared before in 1 or 2 chapters. Didn't think she was that important, but apparently she is. Before you go judging these chapters as being bad, let's really explore them. Understand what is this game exactly. Initially, I wanted this video to be a review of 408 because I didn't think that we will be stuck in the same game, but with all the stuff that happened and by the end of the chapter, with the declaration of martial law and a lot of explanation in the game that happened, no, it deserves its own video. I had to do this one video regarding the whole negotiation game, so stick around, we have a lot of stuff to cover. What is the game? It's a simple card game. You got 2 players. Player 1, the dealer or the parent, they have 7 cards, and the 7 cards are goal. I will tell you my goal with no lies. Ability. I will explain my ability. No lies. QA. Ask a question and I will answer that question with yes or no. As many as you want, you can ask. However, if you want to go into more depth regarding these questions, you need to use QB. I will answer your question in depth, but it has to be the question that you asked in QA. You get a yes card, you get a no card, and you get a deal card. The deal card is self-explanatory. If the other party in front of you want to strike a deal, you choose this card and you offer the deal. Now the cards for the other player, the child. There are 5 cards. Yes, so you agree on the negotiation. No, so you disagree with the negotiation. Joker is basically like a burner card. It leads to a stalemate. X, a card that invalidates the game. And the best of all, you got Monster Reborn. Oh yes. With this card, you can bring any card from the graveyard. Because yeah, with each card the other player chooses for you to like activate, you discard it after you finish. Togashi do be loving his card games. I mean, technically there was no reason whatsoever for Greed Island to be a card game, but it was. So yeah. So it's a game of negotiation. The cards on the side of that child are basically action cards. The player has to do whatever the cards tell them to do. Cards that belongs to the parent or the dealer are more of prompts, are more of invitations to ask questions, and they have to answer these questions. And by answering these questions and indulging into a conversation, that's where the negotiation comes from. And what is like the goal of the negotiation? Well, recruiting Borksen. See, Morena so badly wants to recruit Borksen to be on her team. And why her specifically? I mean, she's close to Sridnik, so close in fact, she calls him and her friends, she calls him Tsir. Yeah. Morena, by recruiting her, it will help her grow her team and, you know, get close to the royals that will help her take down the Kakin Empire. And lastly, we can say her potential. Using the power of Dogman, he was able to sniff out that Borksen is a specialist. Now, what is her special ability and how exactly does Morena know her ability? We don't know. Borksen herself does not use Nen. Dogman just knows her affinity. We'll get into that in a little bit. And that's why we are playing the game. Morena is playing this game because she wants her to be on her team so bad. But more importantly, she wants Borksen to want to be on her team. And that's the main thing. It's not as simple as, okay, they kidnapped her, so maybe they should threaten her to be on her team. No, they don't want that. They want Borksen herself to want to be a part of the team. And why go through all of this complicated process instead of just like talking to her or convincing her? Well, it's because it's a Nen restriction. As Morena explains, no, this card game is not a Nen ability, but it is a Nen restriction that allows her powers to become even stronger. Okay, I get it now. Morena, I like you more and more every time I see you. And as we all know, the harder it is and more strict the restriction one puts on their Nen ability, the more powerful the ability becomes. So, yeah, that's a known Nen rule. You get the idea of the complicated restriction by literally having a grammar lesson in the middle of like the explanation. Here Borksen tries to break the game by asking a yes or no question, but playing with the wording of the question. There are no underhanded tricks to this game, she asked. Yes or no? Now, that's a loaded question. It's like asking, didn't you eat today? There's a negative in the question, so I can answer yes, but you would understand that I did eat, right? But technically, I wanted to say yes, in fact, I didn't eat today. And the same thing applies if I answered no. You can ask me, didn't you eat today? And I can answer no, but I would mean like the opposite of what you understand. Didn't you eat today? No, I did eat. See why it's confusing? There is a double negative, but there is like a social understanding regarding these using of words that we all agree upon. In a context, it makes sense, but if we're only playing by the words, now it can become a bit tricky. And with that taken into account, Morena assures that there will not be any foul play. Just play the game. You can pick the cards you want yourself. A third party will shuffle your cards, put them face down, and when it comes like time for you to reveal a card, you can do it on your own. And now, let's start. Ask away. Let's move to 408 and the game begins. And to my surprise, this card negotiation game is more exciting than I thought. Only of Togashi like made a couple of chapters like those back in the Chimera Ant arc explaining the rules of Gunki, you know, so I can follow up what is happening when the King and Komugi were playing. That would have helped. And yes, I bring this up intentionally because of course there's a parallel here between Morena Borksen and Komugi Miriam. We can like analyze this game so much because if you remember all of like the games of Gungi between Miriam and Komugi, they were like spoiling the whole palace invasion and what happened in this war. So maybe if we analyze this negotiation card game, will get spoiled on the succession war and we will know what will happen. Or maybe by the ending of this chapter we did get like the ending of the succession war. Maybe it will end abruptly by something external happening. I don't know. So yeah, this game in 408, it like ended with the declaration of martial law, maybe they will not continue the game, and maybe like the whole succession war will come to its like crescendo, the highest moment of it, and boom, like mythical monster from the dark continent will like enter the ship and everything will come to a stop. I don't know. Let's analyze the game. Choose a card. Yes, that's like a similar voice to Morena. Like in my head, when I read something from Morena, I imagine this voice, you know, just an extremely well and soft-spoken British young lady. Choose a card. I love Morena, man. Morena is such an amazing character. Borksen starts and chooses the purpose or goal card. Now Morena will explain what she really wants, which is destruction of the Kakin Empire, and after that, you know, humanity. Huh? And with that, we go into a bit of an exposition, the backstory of Morena. Carnival and blasphemy. Carnival is a festival that the royals of Kakin used to do in random villages. You know, they party hard and they leave. With hush hush, no one knows. Blasphemy is any act that disrespects the loyal, and if you do any blasphemy, you will get executed on the spot. Now, Morena was conceived in one of these carnivals, and upon birth, immediately she was slashed in her face and sent away in a place ran by the Heil-ly and, you know, other human traffickers. Then they categorized them into Nasimono, illegitimate child, and Morena was classified as meat. Basically, trash. And during her time of being meat, she started to awaken her Nen ability and slowly but surely moved up the ranks and ended up leading the Heil-ly family. To achieve my goal, I needed allies. Each of them possesses a special ability, and among them, the one that holds the most important role, that'll be you. Now it's Morena's turn, and Borksen flips her card and we get a Joker card. Useless. Now Morena explains her ability, the same explanation that we got back in chapter 378. And there's like a little detail here that Borksen, before they started the game, she tried like to outsmart Morena to get like intel on how many people are in her team. Is it like 50? Is it more than 50? Is it less than 50? But Morena did not fall for it. However, when it came time that Borksen asked that question and Morena had to reveal her ability, Morena actually did not lie and revealed that no problem. And during the revelation of her power, we get the reveal that Borksen is a specialist. And what is that over there? There's something over there, I can't say. A wall text. Oh no, no. Man, that's some intense reading right there. But for real though, I just love that we are like over 400 chapters into the series and Nen as a power system is still evolving. And with every new revelation, no matter how small it is, it makes absolute sense to the story. Like it was planned right from the start. And I love that. I know, like, you cannot like say for sure that it was planned from the start, but it just works so good. I love it. But hold on a second here. I smell a little bit of contradiction, because Morena says that she really needs a specialist, like in general. And a couple of panels up or down, she returns and says that no, she needs Borksen. Now I'm confused. Like, do you need Borksen because of her, because something specific that she will like develop with her ability, or do you want her only because she's specialist and that's it? Because like Morena, if you're looking for any specialist that share your goals, maybe they have a past with human traffickers and pretty much wants to burn the whole world down, I might have a perfect candidate for you. You know, you guys should team up. And with all that exposition regarding your ability, he might be the one wanting to steal your ability, and he will be able to do that because of the cards that are in front of you. They basically fulfill all of the conditions that he has to do. Guys, I'm dropping a video on Krolo. Maybe it will drop like tomorrow. So subscribe to the channel, make sure you're subscribed, and let me know what do you think of the video so far. I'm waiting for that moment. Oh my god, like a Krolo Morena collab. That will be amazing. After that, Borksen draws a yes card, and there goes Morena's chance to force her into agreeing to join. But yes, no, whatever card she will end up with, she knows it's a trap. And that's what she inquires about next, by asking Morena using the no card. And right as the negotiation starts to heat up and we start to get like an end of the whole like negotiation game, the table flips. No. The whole room no. The whole ship that we're on flips because an announcement is coming through. Speakers, they are shouting, and it says martial law declared. Amazing. I love it. What is martial law? Martial law is basically when the states puts a stop to all of the rules and regulations and laws in order to like mitigate a threat or like to help the country be safe from an outside threat. So the military takes over everything. In the world of Hunter x Hunter, it means that First Prince Benjamin is going crazy. Something happened with First Prince Benjamin that they had to like declare martial law. What happened? Obviously something very, very bad happened off screen because like the whole timeline of that card game is a bit forward in time. And if you think about it, like we saw several times Benjamin like threatening the idea of martial law. We saw that several times, but he never did it. Says he might have to declare martial law. Maybe that will like incentivize him into declaring martial law, but he didn't do that. What happened that made the declaration of the martial law? Maybe he was attacked by Might, Hulkenburg, or maybe a prince was attacked by another prince. Maybe, you know, that's illegal in the succession war. A prince cannot attack another prince personally, okay? That's no, we cannot do that. Maybe a prince was kidnapped. Loseress. Or maybe some very important artifact was stolen. Whatever it is, something really, really bad happened. The moment I don't know if the negotiation game has like completely stopped, but definitely something disrupted the whole like flow of the story. By declaring martial law, something bad really happened. We have to wait till we understand what exactly happened, and I cannot wait for it. And yeah, that was the rules and the explanation of the negotiation game. It's not a Nen ability. No, indeed, it is a form of Nen restriction for Morena to make her powers even more powerful. Morena is slowly but surely taking all the spotlight in this arc, and yeah, I'm pretty much, we can all safely say that Morena is the big bad here. She is the villain of our villains, and I cannot wait to get more of Morena. The negotiation game ended with a twist ending no one expected. Chapter 409, named Negotiation Part 3. The game of Morena and Borksen continues from the cliffhanger from the previous chapter. The declaration of martial law. We still do not know exactly what triggered the declaration of martial law, but we're gonna find out soon. For me, I think the most probable incident is the death of Prince Losers. That's my best guess at the moment, but that's not important because this chapter is all about the game between Morena and Borksen. I love Borksen. I gotta say, I know that maybe I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but I haven't seen a lot from her in the story. This is like maybe her fourth appearance ever. But she grew on me. For some reason, I just like this character. She starts to analyze the situation. First by observing Morena and how she was shaken up after she heard the declaration on the speakers. And then Borksen goes for the deal card on Morena's side. And what we know at the moment is that Borksen is trying to gather up information and get out of there as soon as she can. And the deal that she proposes is to get the X card from the graveyard. And in return, Morena offers, in order for this deal to be made, for them to kiss. And they cut the kiss out. Why? Why did they cut it out? Why? I mean, no, for real, like, That was like a weird choice that they cut this part out when they have shown it before. It was shown before in the story, so I don't know. It felt like reading the 4 Kids version of that chapter, to be honest. I completely understand that Bergson felt assaulted. It's just the way she was drawn. It felt like she was trying to get over it real quick and focus on the situation. And it turns out that the kiss is a condition of Morena's powers, and these are the conditions. First of all, you gotta play the negotiation game. Second, you gotta kiss with tongue. And third, you gotta watch and observe the murder of someone, and this murder has to be done by either Morena herself or one of the members. Aha, this we gotta stop right there for a second, because I believe this is what is called in storytelling a Chekhov's gun. What's a Chekhov's gun? Basically, it's like a storytelling device that authors use and filmmakers use, where they show weapon of murder before the murder happens. Maybe you're gonna start like a scene in a movie, and this scene focuses on a gun, hence the name Chekhov's gun. And you move on from that gun, but you as a viewer know that this gun is there. And later on at the scene, maybe at the ending of the scene, one of the people in the scene will grab that gun and then murder the other person. A Chekhov's gun. And I believe that the mentioning of that rule and like stressing on it is a Chekhov's gun for the Phantom Troupe, because they're still on their way to the Heil-ly hideout. And when they arrive, maybe one of the Phantom Troupe members, Phaeton or Finks, will become that member that gets unalived in order to complete the initiation of Borksen. Man, that will like shake the whole thing even more. So after the kiss, Borksen was able to get the X card back, and now she has 3 cards on her side: X and the return card and the no card. She somewhat explains that she doesn't trust the whole shuffling the card thing, and she wants to check the down-facing cards herself. After each turn, before Bergson flips one of the card and then discards this card, one of the Heil-ly members shuffles these cards, and from the perspective of Bergson, maybe she thinks that there's a bit of trickery going on. Maybe there's a bit of foul play going on with the shuffling of the cards and the cards that are face down in front of her. And also she claims that during the kissing part, she wasn't focusing on her cards, so maybe someone played with them. Morena's reply to that is that Morena is not cheating, and she like insisted on that there will not be any cheating in this game from the first chapter. And now she feels a bit insulted that Borksen would think this way. And here we get a rant from Morena, and this is not actually the first time in this arc that Togashi hints at traits that exist in a toxic relationship. I mean, look at whole Sridnik's characters. It's full of like toxic traits. But no, Morena goes on and on like this is the equivalent of people in a relationship where one party in the relationship likes to check the other person's phone, and like his reasoning for that, or her reasoning for that, is that well, if you have nothing to hide, why won't you let me check your phone, which is a very toxic trait. She equates that to that. But either way, Borksen checks the cards anyway, and yes, Morena in fact is not cheating. She stuck to her word. There is no foul play going on. Next, she uses the QA card and questions Morena. She questions Morena a lot and tries to get every possible intel she can, like about her power, about the number of the members, and more and more and more. And Morena, sticking to the rules of the game, answers all of the questions very calmly. And the final question is, if the last remaining card on Bergsen's side is the no card, will that mean that Borksen will die? And Morena answers, yes. And here it is. Only 2 cards remain on Borksen's side: the Monster Reborn card and the No card. One means death, and the other means she can walk out of there alive. she would walk out of there alive if she uses the Monster Reborn or the Return card, basically from getting the X card from the graveyard and rendering the whole game pointless. That's the way that Borksen can get out of there, no harm done. So, this is the moment of truth. Borksen is gonna flip the card in 3, 2, 1. It is done! The negotiation game comes to an end. And the card that is being discarded is the no card, making the remaining card is the return card, and oh, what a relief. And the next couple of panels are the exact reason why I say Borksen grew on me. She just escaped with her life, and then Togashi includes a simple panel. She talks very normally and apologizes to the woman that was potentially going to kill her anyway. And she said I'm sorry that I crumbled up the card when I figured out that I chose correctly and I get to live. It's these little moments that helps us understand that these characters are so much more from just being a simple one-dimensional character. No, they can have a very regular back and forth conversation about something that you would say in real life. And then Morena explains that every time this negotiation game is played, they're played with new cards. Maybe these cards are conjured. We don't know. And now we are all ready to close the game. All is left for Borksen is to use the return card in her hand to get a card from the graveyard. Oh, what is that? What is Borksen doing? Borksen just brought back the yes card, meaning that Borksen agrees to join Morena. What? Why would you join the Heil-ly death cult of Morena? Well, Borksen in that chapter tried to insist on Morena. It's there is no other way to change your mind. Maybe we can go get the Kakin Empire in a different way. And Borksen basically says it's I can think of another way to bring down the Kakin Empire. Just think with me. And Morena sticks to her goals. No, I want to wipe out the Kakin Empire, then go wipe out the world. And it's obvious to us that Borksen wants to get out of here, but against all odds, Borksen decides to join Morena. And you know that Morena is thrilled by hearing this because Morena needs Borksen. Borksen is a specialist after all, and it will help to further Morena's agenda. So this is a very, very, very weird twist of events. And yeah, I think this completes the whole negotiation saga, the 3 parts, and I believe that the next chapter we will know what was the reason of the declaration of martial law, or maybe we will go to another part of the story where other important events are happening, and during these events we will get the declaration of martial law from this perspective. But either way, Borksen, against all odds, she joins the Heil-ly. She joins Morena and become the 23rd member. I like this chapter, and this chapter, I grew to love Borksen more as a character. Of course, I don't know exactly what is she hiding or what is her motive. I mean, the whole thing with Borksen is that she considers Tsraidnik as an ally, and Tsraidnik is the worst character in human history. It's why is you why, man? Why? But then she allies with Morena. Maybe she will do a flip on Tsraidnik, or maybe she wants to join Morena to fulfill her duty as someone who's trying to protect Tsraidnik, so she will be like a mole in the Heil-ly family. It's become a tradition now with every new chapter from Hunter x Hunter to have more questions leaving the chapter than answers. Hunter x Hunter chapter 410 just dropped, and with that, this is the final chapter that we have at the moment. Yes, the hiatus has started officially, but it will not be a long hiatus. Hopefully. So, the chapter is called Negotiation Part 4. Yeah, I was mistaken with the last chapter. I thought that the negotiation game is over by now, but no, this chapter continues right where we left off at the moment. And My man, I was very disappointed to realize that Borksen was not the giga chick that I thought she was. Like, I thought she was like playing 5D chess with Morena, analyzing every single little minute detail, but as it turned out, she cheated. From the start, we get Morena questioning Borksen and stressing on, do you really say yes? Is that your final decision? Yes, yes, yes. And we cut to Borksen in shock. Borksen actually wanted to use the X card, to invalidate the whole game, but she ended up with the yes card. And no, that wasn't because she was playing 5D chess and wanted to join at the end. No, it's because she cheated. During the moment where she crumbled the card out of excitement, the moment that I actually adored, it was like an extra moment to show another side of Borksen that she was so revenge. No, she was a cheater. Because when she asked to see the cards, she actually like dented one of the cards, to mark it, to be able to choose the return card to then bring back the X card to invalidate the game, but turns out she used the yes card. Because the cards are an extension of her powers, so she knew that Borksen was cheating. And whenever a cheating situation arrives, that leaves the participant in the game with only a yes or no to the negotiation game. And Borksen chose yes. It's very intimidating. This negotiation game had ups and downs. I was intrigued by Morena at some time. Then I fell in love with Borksen. Then Morena I was afraid of. Then I was rooting for Borksen. Then I loved Borksen because she said yes, she's up to something. She might be. Then it turns out she cheated, and now I am more on Morena's side, not in a good way, like more excited to see what Morena will do next. Because she's a very powerful Nen user, obviously she's like a very, very dope antagonist to the story. She wants to destroy the whole world, and she has like a very weird motivation behind it. But Morena, wins again, and she basically pressures Borksen into joining her. She explains her ability further to Borksen, and I love this panel where Borksen just breaks down. And another panel that really stood out this chapter, where Morena is in silhouette, solely in silhouette, intimidating Borksen. Oh my god. And yeah, you can see her goal here clear as day. They want to kill people. Yeah, dope. The second half of this chapter is basically Benjamin with his soldiers doing a military coup. I mean, you don't have to be an expert to see what is going on. It's a simple military coup. They are terrorizing the third tier, and Benjamin is going crazy, and he basically wants to legitimize himself as the ruler of the Kakin Empire and the winner of the succession war. And why is that? Because he was poisoned. We don't know what happened. We don't know how he was poisoned. What we know at the moment is that martial law was declared 40 minutes ago, okay? And Benjamin is poisoned and probably have like half a day left to live. We don't know how he got poisoned. Like, maybe if you think about it, Hulkenburg possessing Might's body released disease weapon that Might was hiding in his boots, and he did that to Benjamin. So Benjamin now is facing death, and what Benjamin wants to do at the moment is that take over the three branches of government, declare that emergency, and do a military coup to be in charge of the Kakin Empire. And after he becomes in charge of the Kakin Empire, then he can make his son, that's the secret, okay, the next ruler of Kakin. In order to do that, he has to be king first. Man, it is going off. What we know for a fact at the moment is that basically he took all of the princesses. He took them all hostage except 4. We don't know who are the 4. Zhang Lei, I think, and Loseress, I think, and 2 more. We do not know. We do not even know for a fact if these other 2 Losers, we don't even know if Losers is still alive. I don't really understand why Togashi went at it this way. Like, I know, of course, we will get like a flashback explaining what made him or being at the moment that he declared martial law, but it's just very it's very frustrating that we get it this way, you know? I wanted to know what happened, man. I have to wait until it came back. But no, of course, we had to spend 4 chapters with the negotiation game. Asking Messiah Storm and Botobai and Kaiser from the Justice Bureau to basically legitimize him. They clash with him a little bit. They're like, bro, like, I know you think you're intimidating and stuff. And, oh, what is that? Oh, you got a Nen beast hovering over you. That is fun. That is very, very fun. But we will not be intimidated. We need like a written note from the king to like legitimize what you're doing. You're taking people hostage, man, and you're doing a military coup. We can all see that you're doing a military coup. We will not legitimize you. And Benjamin is not having it. And that's where we leave it. We don't know the assassination attempt that happened on Benjamin. Benjamin tries to say that Saraidnik had to do something with it, like Saraidnik and Hulkenburg allied together in order to do this, but I think he's lying, man. Saraidnik is just busy learning Nen, and Hulkenburg, you know, is dead as far as all the people know, so no one is buying that you're actually in danger, man. You're just trying to do a military coup in order to get power because you don't have a lot of time to live and you want to pass down the royalty to your child. The few hours left to live in Benjamin is actually like a big deal because Benjamin was like one of the big ones of the princes, and now with few hours left in his life, with the most important candidate of the princes taken out, no matter how that will go down, is a big mover of the story of the succession war. What will follow up next? We can only wait to know what will happen after the hiatus. For the time being, you can subscribe to this channel to enjoy some more Hunter x Hunter content until the next chapter drops. Thank you so much for watching. I will be dropping another video regarding this chapter. This is only the start of the content you'll be receiving here on the channel. More in-depth content, that's what I like to do, but I also like to do these little recap videos. So subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and have a good day.